Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the HITI Post Game Show. I'm in Todd today or tonight. I'm James, of course. I do the pregame show. I had so many things I mentioned in the pregame show that should happen for the Angels to have a chance, and they had a chance, and of course blew it. And it's just demoralizing because you can never get over the Astros, and you have to be them. And Todd always mentions the whole wrestling guy quote, to be the man, you have to beat the man. It's just not there. Nevin is to blame, whomever else, do what you want. Before we get to what happened, let's get to the sponsorships. Uh, Go to 714 Tickets, of course, and Noble L Works. Noble L Works first. Let's go to them because you gotta go try their brews. You gotta go try the food trucks coming in from local Orange County food trucks that come over to Noble Ale Works. They're right outside there. It's really great how that works out. So check that out and indulge in the food, brisket, pizza, Mexican food. I've seen some great food trucks that come through there. So check out Noble Ale Works at their Instagram page, and you'll be glad you did. Also, check out, of course, Halos in the Infield. Zoom in. Okay, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, which you found yourself here. I know the poll question or that I put in right now was like, "Hey, do you fire Nevin like right now?" So far, 100%. That's what I was looking for. And also, please check out 714 Tickets, their website. Very easy to check out right here. You know, all the concert tickets like Paramore, Taylor Swift. Now, Madonna, unfortunately, got uh, sick, but she'll be back on tour hopefully soon. But yeah, check out 714 Tickets for all your ticket needs, Angel tickets, whatever tickets you're thinking of, theater tickets, and then put in the code HITI, take 10% off your order at checkout, 5% on future purchases, and then also you'll be in drawing for a free Halos jersey, courtesy of Halos in the Infield and 714 Tickets. So it's all wins when you're talking about 714 Tickets and Noble Ale Works. Also, Noble Ale Works, don't don't make me forget. Um, there's free parking there if you mention Halos in the Infield during Angel games, and also there's specials going on during games. So it's really good to see all that. So let's get to what happened tonight. The Angels lose 9-8, and man, it's just demoralizing, honestly. Like I mentioned, uh, just the game recap was wild when you think about it. Um, started off, Houston got one in the first, the Angels got one in the second. Let me get to the scoring here. Nothing in the third. And I was mentioning Anderson hopefully would go, five. I know someone else said in the pregame show, hopefully go six. And then with what I said was 4 runs or less. And that did happen. But Tyler Anderson had the issues, and he had the calf issue. That was really a bad thing. He only went, 3 innings there? Let's see. Yeah, 3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. But the pitch count was very high for him, and that was unfortunate. 85 pitches just through 3 innings. And he also had the calf problem. It looked like a cramp. It was a hot day, humid day, and I figured you would have a scoring output like this where it was going to be back and forth and high, and that was the case for sure. So let's get to the summary here again. Yeah, I sound like Hammer right there. All right, so Kyle Tucker drove in the first run of the game. DeBon came home to score. Bottom of the second, Moustakas hit that home run to center field, no doubter, to make it 1-1. Bottom of the fourth game, Cabbage. And I loved what Cabbage did today. All of his 3 hits, his first Major League 3 hits, he went the opposite way. It was awesome. He was fantastic in that way. He was later pinch ran for Squid. But Cabbage had the double and brought home 2 runs to make it 3-1, and you felt really good. And then the 7th inning came. And Webb came in and gave up the 2 home runs, one to McCormick, he would homer later, and then to Myers to tie the game at 3. Bottom of the 7th, though, Zach Neto brought home Squid, like I mentioned before, to make it 4-3. Ward doubled in Ohtani, Neto before him, and Monac to make it 7-3, and you felt good, right? Remember, though, Phil Nevin's the manager. Chas McCormick, both his home runs went the opposite way. 2 runs shot to make it 7-5 off of Estevez, and I was wondering why Nevin brought in Estevez in the 8th, maybe to face. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe someone in the chat in the postgame show. In the postgame show, in an interview, after the game here, can explain why Nevin brought in Estevez in the 8th and then Berea in the 9th. Maybe strictly because it was not a safe situation. That's all I could think of, honestly. So Dubon grounded out, but Madrid scored to make it 7-6 Angel League, and then Bregman hit the home run, the 2-run shot to make it 8-7, and then Kyle Tucker hit the solo shot to make it 9-7. And then, just like yesterday, bottom of the ninth, Shohei Ohtani homered, but there was another rally. Theis had that line drive with 1 on, but gotta give it up to Kyle Tucker. He got in there, made that sliding tremendous catch, and won the game for the Astros there. Again, I don't understand why Estevez was used in that spot in the 8th and then Berea in the 9th. No lead is ever safe with these Angels. I think that's what has to be mentioned. So that was really unfortunate. But yeah, credit though to Neto and Ward having the clutch hits. Ohtani's with his in the 9th, and then Cabbage with his 3 hits going the opposite way. What a concept to go the opposite way. That was great to see, and he's only a rookie coming up, and he's the one doing that. It's amazing. The Astros are going the opposite way, and they have success. That's just the way things are, I guess. Another thing about Anderson, the pitch count was high, and that was another reason why he was out, other from the cramping as well. So let's get to Houston. So their notes, when I was taking a look at them, their bullpen has been really bad. I look for them to go out and get some lefty bullpen help. That'll help them. McCormick had those 2 opposite field home runs that were huge. Bregman, of course, with the big home run in the 9th. It seems like Houston never dies easy in games and are smarter than all the other teams, it seems. And that's really the unfortunate thing about that. Let's look quickly at the Angel pitchers. Again, Anderson, 3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Soriano came in and just gave up a hit, a walk, and a strikeout in his inning of work. Wise did really well. An inning and 2/3, 4 strikeouts and 2 hits. So shout out to Zach Wise. He did really well. Jacob Webb was the one who gave it up. 1 1/3 inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and 2 home runs. Estevez with the home run given up and 2 hits. 2 earned runs and 1 inning of his work. And then Beria, who got the loss, 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 home runs. That was just very, very unfortunate. For the Astros, Montero gets the win. He's 2-3 now. Berrios 2-5, and then Maton holds on to get the save. Remember, he was the GOAT yesterday, and he was able to hold on barely today. Let's check out the Astro pitching real quick. Javier, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He gave up the home run to Moustakas. We mentioned in the pregame show, Javier, he's been a mixed bag of ways the last 3 starts. Lots of runs and hits given up and not many innings gone. Today, though, he did give up 5 innings. He did throw 5 innings and ramp up the strikeouts. Kuno came in and had the issues. He went 1 2/3, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. Montero, who gets the win, went 1 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run given up, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And Phil Maton barely hung on to get the save, his first of the season. That's why Presley had the night off, or the day off, whatever. 1 inning in the ninth there, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and then the home run given up to Shohei Ohtani. For the box score, for the Angels, Neto had a hit, Ohtani as well, Moniak, Ward, Moustakas, Thaiss, Cabbage had 3, Velasquez pinched hit, did not get a hit, and Renfroe didn't get a hit, and Rengifo as well did not. But you got to give it up to Cabbage. He came out and did well, so you can't fault him. And of course, he had his family in the stands, so that was cool to see. For the Astros, Dubon led off. He had a hit. Bregman had 4 hits, along with 2 RBIs, as well as Tucker. So that was really, really unfortunate. You had those 2 power guys, and you couldn't get them. But you didn't allow Abreu to have the game. He was 0 for 6 with the strikeout. McCormick, 4 at-bats. He had 2 runs scored, as well as Bregman did. Tucker had a run scored on each, or Tucker and Dubon also had a run scored each. So the top of the lineup, other from Abreu, did the work. It was really good to see. Other from Abreu, if you're an Astro fan, everybody else hit at the top of that lineup. McCormick, though, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and he struck out once. Diaz with 2 strikeouts, but he had a hit. Let's see. Kessinger had 2 hits. That was pretty clutch of him. He had a walk and a strikeout. Maldonado went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So that was good at least to stop him, but you couldn't stop Bregman and Tucker. It's just funny how the game goes sometimes. I went through the pitching for them. So again, the Angels lose 9-8. Houston goes to 52-42. The Angels now 46-48. Quickly looking at the standings here for both teams. The Astros find themselves, I think, still in second place because Houston won tonight. Let's see, 3.5 back in second place, and the Angels find themselves 8.5 back in 5 games, still out of the wild card. And it would have helped if they won tonight, but it didn't happen because they would have at least gained a little ground with the wild card. Now, again, like my rule, hey, if you're at 5 or less, you're still in it, but 6 or more, you're considered out of it. And with all the trade talks coming, I bet ESPN was ranting all day about do you trade Ohtani or not. I had it on mute other from the Moniac segment where they had him talking with the microphone out in center. Trying to understand what Phil Nevin was mumbling and Buster Only was interviewing him, and Dusty Baker as well. I was listening to. Other from that, I wasn't watching. I wasn't listening to whatever ESPN was talking about. So that's just the way I rolled. I didn't want to hear about all the trade talks and everything else like that. It's just not what I wanted to do, honestly. So let's get to the next thing on our agenda. The Stamos Night. Just play it in your head, the theme. If you watch it enough, you'll figure it out. Da, 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 right. All right. I think the Stamos Award for me, and I want to give it to an Angel usually, but I keep it fair, where you have to give it to the literal best player on the team or in the game, whatever team they were on, right? So it's between Bregman, Tucker, and McCormick, because McCormick had the 2 home runs. Bregman had the biggest home run. It was first pitch, too, off of Berea. That's awful, man. That's so awful. So the Stamos Award, I should have put this in the chat, but who do you think should win the Stamos Award between McCormick, Tucker, and Bregman? I'm going to give it to Bregman because he had the game-winning home run, and he had also 4 hits and a walk. So I give it to Bregman, and then I want to give it to Tucker, too, because he made that sliding catch. Maybe I'll give it all 3. It's going to be a trio award. So Bregman, Tucker, and McCormick, I think, all get the Stamos Award for excellence. The Nacho Night Award, it's definitely got to be an Angel. It's got to be Nevin. Still trying to figure out why you put in Estevez in the 8th and then Berea in the 9th. But Berea can share some of those nachos as well. I feel like Berea, whatever you want to call him, he should be a long reliever. He shouldn't be trusted in, late, close game or a starter. So the Nacho Night Awards go to Nevin and Jaime Berea. That's what I think. Let's quickly get to some MLB scores. There were some interesting things. San Diego lost in extra innings, 7-6. They're 0-9 in extra inning games this year. Milwaukee swept Cincinnati in their game. Let's quickly go through the scores. The Giants defeat the Pirates in Pittsburgh 8-4. Like I said, the Phillies win in 12 innings, 7-6 over the Padres. San Diego lost 3 out of 4 there. White Sox defeat the Braves 8-1 in Atlanta. Let's see. The Orioles defeat the Marlins 5-4. The Blue Jays defeat the Diamondbacks 7-5 in Toronto. And the Brewers, like I mentioned, swept Cincinnati. They won 4-3 tonight. The Royals held on 8-4 over Tampa Bay. Same score, Cardinals over Washington. The Red Sox defeat the Cubs 11-5. The Rangers defeat Cleveland 6-5. That was the unfortunate game there. The Rockies defeat the walk off the Yankees 8-7 and 11. That's big because the Yankees come into town now to the Big A. The Twins defeat the Athletics 5-4. Minnesota coming back on Oakland up there in the Bay. 2-0. The Mariners shut out the Tigers. And then this game, as well as the Philly game, was rain delayed. Start later. The Mets walk off the Dodgers 2-1. So a lot of walk-offs today and dramatic home runs, like, of course, we saw in the Angel game, unfortunately. So, what else do we get to from here? Again, the poll question there, hopefully you'll be able to read it and see it. It's saying, hey, do we fire Nevin now, like tonight? Do Perry and Artie have the you-know-whats, I'll just say baseballs, to fire Nevin like right now for his decision making? And I'm still trying to figure out, why that happened. And I don't know. Before we get to the comments, I guess we'll get to the schedule coming up. So Monday on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, Monday through Wednesday, the Yankees come to town. Thursday, the 20th, the Angels are off. And then the Pirates come to town on next weekend, 21, 22, 23. The Angels then have the 24th off, and then they're on the road in Detroit, Toronto, and to finish July and go into August, which will be a tough month, Atlanta. So it's going to be a tough schedule. It's going to be very, very tough to see how the series goes in all the games, in all the series here. Let's get to some probables. Louis Seferino will go for the Yankees tomorrow, and for the Angels, it will be Griffin Canning. For Tuesday's game, let's check out this. Yeah, I believe all the games. Domingo Germán will go Tuesday for New York. Patrick Sandoval will go for the Angels on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm trying to see what time that is. I believe that's a 4 o'clock. Yeah, I think it's a 4 o'clock start, which is weird for the Yankees when they come into town. But yeah, 4 o'clock start. Carlos Rendon will come and be the starter for New York, and the Angels have not yet announced their starter for Wednesday's game. So those are your probables for the next series ahead for the New York Yankees and, of course, your Angels. All right, let's get to some comments. I guess first I'll read the poll question, if I can see it. What's going on? All right, poll question. I think I'll end the poll here. It's obvious. After 59 votes, almost everyone, 97% says fire never now, 3% say no. I wonder what the 3% was, or whom the 3% was. All right, so let's get to the live chat, and thank you for coming in. Nah, man, LOL, hello to you. He mentions why, as my computer does that. Why was Estevez used in the 8th and not the 9th? I think that's what the question was. Yeah, very comical, like he mentions. They're becoming the Comedy Central of the MLB, man. And everybody saw it on national television tonight. That's the bad part. ESPN, I remember one of the innings, they were taking a shot at Phil Nevin, and they said, oh, yeah, the last time they had a winning season, last time they won a playoff game or been to the playoffs, they put all that on and had Nevin's face right there. R. Martinez saying, fire Nevin yesterday despite the win. I was wondering to myself, has that really ever happened? Your team has a great comeback win, and then they fire you right on the spot. You never know. Now Manuel saying, but hey, who cares? Ohtani homered according to Bally's or ESPN tonight. SRC saying, where's Todd? I believe he's working or he's with the fam. So I usually take Sundays for the post-game show. I'm usually the pregame show to SRC. James Malou, shout out to you. Chris Davinsky will go to the IL with a hamstring injury. And we were wondering why he was struggling the last couple of years, or the last couple of appearances. Well, It's been more than a couple, though. It's been a whole month, and just seemed like whatever luck or great pitching he was doing, that's gone. So thank you to James for putting that news out there. Jason Kroom's car. Shout out to you. Remember, he was the one on the grill for the tailgate, so shout out to him. He had made everything very well. He says Nevin has been underqualified for this job, and I wanted to talk about it, but I couldn't get the call in, I think because of Todd's phone yesterday. But I remember why Phil Nevin, and I think if someone in chat can tell me or not, but the reason why Phil Nevin was fired from the Yankees, he was the third base coach, remember, was because he sent the wrong people home and they would get thrown out, or he would hold runners. And there was just too much of that. I might be wrong on that, but I doubt it. Cesar Lopez, shout out to you, says, you absolutely fire Nevin right now before he leaves the stadium. That's what I was wondering. I think there's been, 7 or 8 fireable offenses this season so far. I really mean that. AC mentioning balls, and extend philosophy. Hell no. Chris M says fire the whole coaching staff all the way up to the analytics department. Yeah, I think a clean sweep of everyone would work. And then Perry brings in his own guys. I want Ron Washington, of course, at manager. And then you bring in a Braves type of way of doing things. I know Perry wanted to do an Angels way of doing everything. But there hasn't been a Halo way in forever. Like since all the veterans left a couple decades ago, there's been nothing like that. What is the Angels way? I don't. You saw it tonight. The way that they lost, that's the Angels way. That's the way it's been. James Malou saying Nevin said he didn't want to pitch Estevez. He didn't want Estevez to pitch 2 innings because he pitched last night. And if I was Todd, I'd be yelling like crazy. Of course, following the Clippers, I know about resting players and the stupidity with that. Oh, man. And it would have been worse if they had tomorrow off, when you think about it. Groom's car is saying if a decent manager was in charge, the Halos would have been in first place before all the injuries. Nevin costed this team more than a dozen wins easily. It seems that way. I can recall they had 10 blown saves or holds early, like in the first 2 months, and that would have been a big difference for the record right now. SCR challenging his Ray Kroc. He says the most disgusting display of philosophy in his stint with the Angels. Embarrassment on national television. Yeah, it was really, really bad. That's what pisses me off most. The first pitch, Jaime Barria threw, Bregman killed. It's like he knew what was coming. They do their homework. The Angels don't. And boom, promptly the lead is gone. The game is gone. Hayes saying free parking where? At Noble L Works during Angel games. So if you're ever at an Angel game, there. If you're ever at an Angel game, don't park in the parking lot. Go to Noble L Works. It's across the street from Catella right there, like where that Shell station is. But go northeast, and check that out at 1621 Sinclair Street, Suite B, Anaheim, California, of course, 9208. Yes, go there for some free parking, but you got to mention Halos in the infield. You got to go in there, have some of their brews, have a good time. This team makes us drink, right? So get in there, get some drinks, and then mention Halo's in the infield for the free parking. It's not a too far walk into the parking lot from Noble Oil Works to the Angel Stadium parking lot. Just think about this. You're saving yourself some money, and then you're having some fun before and after the games with some Noble Oil Works drinks. And whenever the food trucks are there, especially on the weekends, you got to try that. I'll be up there next time, and I'll probably do a live or just a shout out there. AC mentioning, why is the all-star closer pitching in the eighth? Yeah, that's the biggest question we're all gonna wonder for the next 3-4 hours, and then tomorrow morning. Again, I want to hear the soundbite from Nevin, and hopefully Twitter will be all over that. Richard Thurman, shout out to you, saying on national television too. Yeah, it's more reason. And there was that poll I saw ESPN have on the screen where it's saying, hey, if you're Artie Moreno, and why would you want to be? They said, would you trade Shohei at the deadline and get something back? And it was like 75%, or something like that said yes, and the other 25 said no. And then I think that kept getting higher and higher in favor of yes. And certainly after that game, you thought yes. Let's see. PJ mentioning Jaime Barrios should have come in the fourth as a long reliever. And remember, they used Soriano, and that was because of Anderson's fatigue, injury, and pitch count. And credit to Weiss. He did so well. 4 strikeouts in his 1 and 2/3 innings pitched. He did so well and blew it. Blew it later on with Webb. Just the wrong decisions. And I guess you can't let Estevez go because he gave up the 2-run home run to McCormick. He tried to sneak that pitch by. McCormick knew what to do with it. And that was very unfortunate. Chris M saying, Ohtani's parking space soon, Hayes. James Malou mentioning, Nevin also said that he didn't want to pitch more on a back-to-back days fresh off the IL. I understand that. I totally understand that, James. Thank you. I can see that. It would be better if the team had a better record to solidify these decisions. But when you're losing, it's double worse. This dude right here says, I thought Loop would be a better choice, but nobody trusted even try more. Because Berea never succeeded in SV for 6 years career. Actually, every time I watch him blow saves. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Luke was there warming up, but they never went to him. Maybe because of the righty-lefty situation. James Malou saying embarrassing loss tonight. It certainly was. Daniel Brito mentioning pull Cabbage and put Velasquez in after going 3 for 3. Philosophy at its best. The thing is, though, Squid came around and scored from first. No one else would do that with the speed. I mean, Neto would have scored. But he came up later. But yeah, you had to have some pinch running in there. At least Phil made that move, but then you realize maybe as much as we all don't like Squid or don't like his unskilled potential, look at his OBS. It's really bad. You had to have speed in there. So that was one thing Phil did okay. You wish it wasn't though Cabbage because he went 3 for 3, so that looked bad. Milky, saying this was a must win. This loss is devastating. Marty saying fire Nevin, it's time. Milky saying why is Loop even on this roster if you're not going to use him exactly for what he's there for? Berea clearly is not a closer. Bregman and Tucker have a slugging percentage of about 1,000 against Berea as well. And that's one thing Nevin, I guess, didn't look at, or Wise didn't tell him. And that's where everybody's at fault. Everybody's at fault, right? MT says, I'm done with this team. What the F Nevin doing? That's exactly what everybody's feeling right now. Trevor Turco saying Kyle Tucker is Satan. It seems like he does that, but he does that against us and every other team. He is an amazing player. I knew he was going to be an all-star this year. I have him as a sneaky, or I had him as a sneaky MVP pick. I don't think he's going to win MVP, but I thought him and Santander are two of those guys that people don't really look at as great players, but I do. Silent E says Nevin doesn't chase wins and he doesn't hold them either. That's certainly true. MT mentioning also the Angels fans are soft. Yay, let's do the wave. I hate the wave, MT. I don't know what everybody else thinks about the hell. I live by an airport, so you're gonna hear that. It's like Shea Stadium. Yeah, MT, I don't like the wave. I never did. I mean, it's so annoying. I was sitting with these guys in San Diego one day, and these guys just tried to start the wave like in the second inning, and it was so damn annoying. It was awful. The Angels' grandma, shout out to you, or have a hat on. Fire Nevin, or she can manage better than this idiot. Now, usually Angel's grandma is a very positive contributor, but this time she had to fire at Nevin, and I back what you say, Angel's grandma. That is amazing. Stephen Mackey says, time to trade Ohtani, boys. Why not? I know ESPN wants the Angels to tonight. Grillmaster, fire Nevin. Jesus Christ. He also says, I would send Jaime back to Panama, but I won't. This was all Phil. Yes, Jaime sucked, but Phil put him in that situation. That's most certainly true. No, Grillmaster, we won't do that. MT says, get the paper bag. Get the paper bags. I have one in the garage. Grandmaster was saying, I don't care about the Tucker catch to end it. This is all Nevin's fault. MT also says, Nevin, what is your reasoning for the 8th and 9th innings? He kind of went, he probably, he would mumble like Dave Roberts quote, I like him in that spot. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. I sound like a country singer. I just don't know. Grillmaster saying his reasoning was he didn't want to use more in the 9th because he didn't want to use a good pitcher 2 nights in a row fresh off an injury. Oh, yeah, thank you. James Malou also mentioning that. So that's the reason why, and that's the reason why we're all ticked off for sure. Chris M mentioning can't even get 6 outs with a 4-run lead. Man, I actually felt positive for once when the Angels were up 7-3. Stupid me. Grillmaster saying, and Estevez, he didn't want to pitch 2 innings because he pitched last night and struggled some today. Remember, he gave up the home run. Anna says, we lose because Phil Nevin and his idiocy. Sure. And Drizzle saying, I understand why Estevez pitched in the 8th, but why not bring him back out? I guess he was tired, and Drizzle, because he pitched yesterday. Why does Nevin protect these guys so much after they've come out and said they want to play, and especially Estevez? Nevin has no business being a big league manager. Grillmaster saying, oh, no. MT saying, Luke, lefty versus lefty. Now that's where that 3, what's it called? You had the minimum 3 batter rule facing the three hitters. That's where that comes to hurt the Angels, because I would love to see Loop against Tucker for sure. But and That's the way it goes, I guess. Grillmaster says, don't use loop. Grillmaster saying also, and now Davinsky is injured because God hates the Angels. That's weird because it's the Angels. And Drizzle saying, Maria versus Tucker history is not good. And somebody mentioned that earlier in the chat. They're batting 1,000. And Phil Nevin or Wise said, "Oh no, let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about the past. Whatever." MT saying, exactly, terrible matchup. Anna says, one more loss, which could have been a win. You call yourselves professionals. I've never, ever seen worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't lose as a team. Or the blah, blah, blah. Anton Montes, shout out to you. This game was just as bad as the ESPN broadcast. And how? Fabio, shout out to you, says, fire Nevin, please. MT says, the season starts tomorrow. Ugh. He would say something like that tomorrow, wouldn't he, MT? Tony C says, what the F Angels waiting for fire Nevin and Wise. Yeah. Grillmaster saying Tucker gets the Stamos, and I think I'm going to go all three. McCormick because of those 2 home runs. Opposite way, too, which is impressive. And then, Tucker and Bregman for their clutch home runs as well. Dan Rio's saying it's like Nevin wants to lose. Maybe he's betting on the games. He's managing like Biden, running the country right into the ground. Oh, boy. Grillmaster saying fire Nevin, fire Nevin. MT saying the Nachos Award should go to Nevin and Wise. I didn't think about Wise. Yeah, that's true. It was unwise of me not to think about Matt Wise. Still in Grillmaster type of joke. I don't know why I did. Let's see. Milk Eye saying Angels must have the worst training staff in history. Now, I can think of the last one. That was the worst. If you think of all the injuries they had. Let's see. Anna saying Nacho Award to Jaime Barria or Nevin. MT saying Nevin is pissing me off with this. Sick of this crap. Tony C also mentions clean house and bring up all the rookies from AA. It's getting to that point, and maybe you'll see that in August. Maybe after the deadline, you say, okay, they already brought up Cabbage. Adele was up and injured. And you have all these different pitchers coming up. One day we'll see Ben Joyce back. Maybe you'll bring up all the Salt Lake City Bees. Nate Hustles, shout out to you, says, Angels seriously need new training staff. They all look unathletic. I tell you what, and I think Todd mentions this about Taylor Ward, how lazy his defense is, and then how he takes his time throwing the ball in. Remember there was that tag up from first to second by one of the Astros, and that was the ball hit to Ward. I think Maldonado hit the ball, and then I forget whom it was, but they tacked up to second, and the throw came on a bounce, and it was wide to Rengifo. I could see kind of what Todd mentions about Taylor Ward. His approach has been better at the plate, but he's still swinging at first pitches and just lazy fly balls. So that's the unfortunate thing about Ward. MT says Nevin baseball IQ is 50 if that. Eric Wall saying, hey, sir. How are you, Eric? Your Mariners shut out the Tigers, too. Nothing I saw today in Seattle. Hopefully you enjoyed the All-Star festivities. I didn't enjoy the uniforms, I'll tell you that. And the fact there wasn't too many runs scored in the All-Star game. We got more comments. Here we go. Had to get down there. I have the same issues as Todd here sometimes with the comments. Okay, here we go. Anna's saying, facing a pitcher with a 7 ERA, make the pitcher look good. or make him look like a god because baseball logic and the Angels balls and balls and make the opposing pitcher looks good. Yeah, 7 strikeouts, 5 innings. Before that, he had like 2 innings of work, 4 innings of work, and he gave up 8 and 9 runs. Go figure. And also saying, I won't be surprised if we have a spot starter Wednesday versus New York. Yeah, on that getaway day for them. Eric Wallace saying, I think I heard rumor Lodge voted no. That was him then. Grillmaster saying, Ohtani home run, cue Bally's. You don't have a soundboard. I don't, and I hate the Bally's theme, so you won't hear that when I'm doing the show, baby. Anna saying, which 3% of the people said no to firing Nevin must be Hello Honks. And those people remember him as a catcher playing here with Anaheim back in 98 or whatever it was. MT says Eric, LOL. That was good, Eric. Anna's saying, I hate seeing this team be the way that they are. And it's going to be 9 years of this, 8 years of this. Pathetic. Nate Hustle saying, look, I know this isn't what everyone else would want, but personally would love to see Marcus Stroman and Cody Bellinger on the Halos, man. I think if this was the show on the MLB, the video game, you make those moves. But with Stroman's contract, I don't even like the guy. I think he's just too much of a firecracker. And Bellinger, I know he's having a better year with the Cubs, but it's not sustainable. So I don't want to trade the future for 2 guys that are shaky. That's my opinion, Nate. Anna says, when is hockey season? I don't know. October? Matt says, I know when the playoffs are, because I love watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Grandmaster saying balls, and buttercups. Anna saying this was a buttercup game. Grandmaster saying balls, and idiocy. Grandmaster also mentions, why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down. Anna also mentioned this game was emotional damage. Grandmaster also mentions he knew what was coming, James. Did you think the Astros cheated? No. I think they just know more than everyone else because they're more experienced. You know, they've been to the World Series a lot. They've been to the playoffs and the League Championship Series a lot the last, since 17? So they've been amazing all this time despite the cheating controversy. It's almost like they didn't need it. That's an amazing part. And then think about that. When they got rid of Correa, they knew they had Jeremy Pena, and granted, he's having a sophomore slump. He wasn't in the lineup today. But knowing that you have someone like that ready for Correa, that you don't have to spend all that money for Correa, and you can go out and get a Jose Abreu. You can feel fine not signing the old Verlander back and having young pitching. And that'll free some moves for you to do. Like, they need that left-handed bullpen piece, and they'll get that. You would figure this before the trade deadline. So the Astros, they're just great all over the place. Let's see. Grandmaster saying won't be surprised. I don't know. It's hard to do it on the road, though, I think. Grandmaster saying it's right on Howe and then onto Sinclair Street. Address is 1621. I believe. Yeah, I don't have my script with me, but all I know, check out Noble Ale Works. Again, for the drinks, the food trucks, check out the Instagram page for the schedule on that. That's for sure. Sim saying, if you could pick a soundtrack for this season, what would it be? A soundtrack. Oh, the Titanic, the Celine Dion song, Titanic. You've seen those videos with the NFL playoff losses and how dramatic it goes with the Celine Dion song, My Heart Will Go On. Just put that on there. And just put on the home runs given up by Berea and Estevez. Or put on the whole game. Not the whole game, but the negative moments for the Angels. Put that on for that song and mix that together. I would love to see that. Marty mentioning, why can't we be serious wanting to see Loop? We can't be serious wanting to see Loop come in and help us. We can't be serious wanting to see Loop come in. God help us. It's to that point though where it's like it's strategy and then it's desperation. You know what I'm saying, Marty? That's what I'm feeling. Hayes mentioning, what are we feeling tonight exactly? What the Astros felt? What we are feeling last night? I'm sorry. What we are feeling tonight is exactly what the Astro fans felt last night. Life is really full circle, but the difference is the records and knowing that you can bounce back anytime you can offensively. They can do that. The Angels can't. That's the big difference. Anna's saying you have to use pitchers even if they are a little fatigued. This is the major leagues, and you need to get the results. That sounds simple. But Nevin, Anderson, the bullpen isn't that. Hayes says this series nonetheless was insane. Yeah, Saturday's game, listening to that one, that was wild, and watching the highlights. Grillmaster saying Matt wasn't too wise with his coaching tonight. Anna saying Trey and his Cabbage Patch babies failed to win. No. Cabbage, he did everything he could with his 3 opposite way hits. He was awesome tonight. It's not him. Grandmaster saying, I hit the ball, Nevin. Nevin, did you see that? Wait, why is he up having his fist up? Oh my God, Tucker caught it. No. I hit it so hard I should be smoking one since I thought we won. That was Matt Dice. Todd does that better. I could tell he was pissed. He slammed the helmet and he was walking away, and you could tell he was pissed. Everybody was pissed. Sims mentioning about what happened as well as on Friday as well as tonight, with Dusty Baker out managing Phil Nevin tonight. Why the heck didn't Nevin walk Tucker and Bregman? Both of them killed us all night and series. Gave Houston the lead in the ninth. Beria could not handle them. That's a risk of not having your closer and throwing out someone inexperienced in that spot. Then again, Dusty, you got to give him credit. That's for sure. Nate Hustle saying, no offense, but pitching is your job. Stop acting like a puss. Nolan Ryan would never. I did like one thing ESPN had, and they were showing the players that played for both the Angels and Astros, and there's a few out there I think that people forget about. Nolan Ryan, of course, is one of them. Remember, he was a Ranger in the Met as well. Okay, I'm trying to bring the comments down. Okay, here we go. Your message saying Estevez did throw 15 pitches. 15! But still, he couldn't be used. Trevor mentioning, it did it again. What do you think Nevin's strategy is? Is it counterintuitive? Game after game, it is never about matchups, but more about pinch counts and workloads. Makes no sense. That's an astute observation, Trevor. Absolutely. Okay. Let's try to get these comments in. Sean Norton says ESPN could take their politics and shove it. I agree with that. I used to watch a lot of their shows, and then they went stupid, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm smarter than that. IE Native says Nevin straight up effing sucks as a manager. MT saying, is George Girardi available to manage? The thing is, MT, I don't want someone old. I know that's naive for me to say because I mentioned Ron Washington, but I also want someone that will work with the players and not just yell at them. the athlete nowadays, they're different. They're sensitive. I think Washington would have the right mix of bringing players along, telling them what they did wrong, telling them what they need to do right, and going on. Girardi lost that locker room, remember, in Philadelphia, just like New York with the Yankees. So it's a big difference to me. Sean mentions Roger Lodge is going to start talking about the Lakers tomorrow. Sean saying we also let him off the hook, channeling his own his inner Dennis Green. Grillmaster saying we don't need the other Cotton Eye Joe, man. That's for sure. Grillmaster saying Girardi won't be the manager. Fuck it, make the AAA manager our manager. His name is Keith Johnson. I wanted it to be Jackson. Oh Nelly. I didn't know who was the I was thinking when all the young kids up, I was trying to figure out who the hell was a AAA manager. So thank you, Grill. You must have a lot of time on your hands, because I just wondered it, but I didn't bother to look. MT saying Titanic. I guess you liked the movie and all that talk about the submarine. What, a month ago, whatever it was, or whenever it was. What's crazy about that story, real quick, non-baseball related. I knew that the stepson or whomever was Brian, whatever his last name. I hung out with him after high school in Carlsbad, and I didn't know about how rich his dad was or anything like that. We'd hang out, go out to eat sometime. This is a friend of friend. I think we hung out maybe 3 or 4 times. He disappeared. He went out and did all these crimes, harassing women and all this. And now he's out while his father's lost at sea, under the sea, I should say. That sounds bad. But he's out at a Blink-182 concert. Cardi B is on him on Twitter. It's just the craziest thing. Like how you think you know people and then boom, they're in the news or they're on social media for the wrong reason. Anyway, I had to get that out. I'm down for an interview if anybody wants one. Anna saying Nacho Knight Berea. Anna also says, funny thing about McCormick, most of his home runs go to the opposite field. I wish our home runs went to the opposite field. Yikes. Anna also mentioning we should have. Comments did that again. I don't like this crap. We should have had the chat up there. He might have walloped one. I don't do what Grill's doing. Be better. And it's saying Zach pitched wisely out of the bullpen. Damn it. Out of the bullpen tonight. Matt did not coach too wisely. Chris M saying Ron Washington was on cocaine. So was Josh Hamilton at the same damn time. Just saying. He's better now. Oh, thanks for Grillmaster. Send me all this crap. Yeah. Something about Bob Nightingale. What? No, I don't know if to trust that. It doesn't have a. No. I don't know, dude. Okay, Sam Blum mentioned Phil Nevin said the reason Berea faced Tucker, despite the bad history, was because who he had available. Luke was the final pitcher available in the pen. Davidson and Moore were down. Davinsky injured. Esteves wasn't available 2 innings. Okay, I can see that. And then I'll check out the roster when I'm asleep. I hope. Sure, Grillmaster. Thank you for all that info that I needed. Just what I needed. Grillmaster saying athletes are too sensitive because they have soft personalities. Mike Trout is a diva and doesn't care about his job. Only the sex with his wife and son, and his son Beckham. Sure, it's kind of a drag. Do Do you throw in? I dare you to throw Rendon in that mention too. Grandmaster saying Joel Schimmels is the AAA pitching coach, and Darren Ebert is the hitting coach of the Salt Lake City Bees. Maybe I'll meet him one day. I don't know. Tony C saying fire Nevin now and chant at Angel Stadium. I don't think the fan base is that strong as we are here at HITI. I don't think the Halo Honks would do that, but we'll do that, I guess. Chris M will say double A coaches are even better. It seems like that with Rocket City. They've had success as of late. Grandmaster saying, yeah, I have all of that. I will look at it never. Probably. You know how like Shaq on TNT, oh no, I think it's Chuck. They send him all the scores or stats or whatever, and he won't look at it. Showtime fans saying Artie Moreno said he's not trading Ohtani. I just saw that. Tony C says bring in Darren Erstad or Kevin Costner. Why Kevin Costner? I don't want him to go like on a 10-minute dramatic speech. MT saying Todd Fox to replace Nevin. Breaking news. I think Tom would. I think Todd would have a stroke or an ulcer or what do you call it? Where your crack hurts or whatever. He would develop that. Hemorrhoids. He would develop hemorrhoids being the manager of this ball club. Showtime fans saying look like Ohtani is going to walk for nothing, and that's very annoying to hear. That's just crap. You should just do it now since you got embarrassed on national television. Maybe the value has gone down. I don't know. He did hit a home run, right? MT saying James as bench coach to calm Todd. I would love to do that. I'll be anything. Just don't make me as the zero. Make me the hero. Trevor saying the worst part about this is that the lack of efficient start. The worst part of this is that the lack of an efficient start from Anderson was the initial blow the Angels' lead giveaway. That's certainly true. I think the Angels need to possibly eat that contract. Maybe next year. Grandmaster saying, I'll check out the roster when I'm asleep. James, you're so good at this stuff. You're so good at doing this stuff in your sleep. So good, in fact, you can do it with your eyes closed. Okay. I can shoot free throws blindfolded like Michael Jordan, if anything. Anna's saying breaking. My boyfriend to replace Nevin as manager. I got to meet y'all someday. Anna's saying also, if Todd manages the team, he'd get emotional damage. How? Chris M saying Marty as Bat Boy. I don't know. Grandmaster saying Anderson contract is $13 million per year. That's the thing, though. You got to have starters in the minors ready to take that spot. I don't think Silseth is ready, so I don't know if that's going to be the case. I want to do that. I really want to do that. I will try to work. You saw him wrap up his fastball to 93 miles per hour. He was very grunting, and then he got into some trouble with walks. So I don't know. I want to do it though. I want to DFA him. No. Anna's saying she's the assistant bench coach to my boyfriend, according to me. Literally, all you have to do is just sit there and look good. You don't have to do work. You don't have to tell people to go on their tablets or anything like that. You just sit there and look pretty. That's what all the other coaches do. Chris M saying it's called a sexetary. Oh, me, oh my. MT saying, imagine Todd getting into Epi's face and translating it to Shohei. See, well, That hasn't happened with Nevin. Nevin and Shohei seem to have a parting of ideas since Friday. So there's a little dysfunction there. You can check out the HITI and the Halos in the Infield shorts, and they had the recent one with Ohtani either not seeing Rendon's fist bump, whatever the case was. And I was watching what Todd was mentioning about yesterday, how Nevin, slapped Ohtani on the back, and Ohtani didn't really acknowledge him. Whatever. Uh, let's see. Grimmaster saying call up Jonathan Diaz. Yeah, I think that would be the most logical thing if you were to. Uh, Again, but I wouldn't do that. But if there was an injury or a trade to a pitcher, starting pitcher, do that then. Do it. Art Martinez saying Ohtani will be traded. So it's back and forth right now. That's how all this goes about around this time of year. It's your boy says, I went to the game today with my dad as a Father's Day gift, and we sat behind home plate and watched his team take us on a ride of emotions. LMAO positive is we made memories today, but the Angels stink. That's all you can do is make something out of it. Take as many pictures as you can um, together. Uh, just remember the good times. That's all you can do. So that's cool. It's your boy. That's a great thing to hear. Grillmaster saying, Chris, was that really necessary? Oh boy. R. Martinez says, Todd is right about how some teams treat their closers, but the Angels babysit them like fragile packages. That's certainly true. Grillmaster saying, somebody touched you. Nope, you can't pitch today, Nevin said. Nevin in air quotes. Uh, Koga 53B says, trade Nevin. I wish you could trade managers, but no one would want him. Again, the Angels lose 9-8 in horrific fashion on national television. Just an awful game. Uh, Awful way to end it, I should say. Despite the ninth inning comeback try after Saturday was amazing. The Yankees come in for 3, and then the Pirates, then the Angels are on the road. Ryan R, says, Ohtani for Bobby Miller, Outman, and Prospect to Los Angeles. MT said, and I think he's bound to go to the Dodgers, no matter what. MT says, Angel fans should start booing the players and hold them accountable. We are too soft. Let's do the wave, Roger Lodge. I see what you did there. It's just a difference between what you want to hear and what you truly see. Grimmaster saying that's not enough of a trade. Oh, but at this point, you're kind of desperate, though, aren't you? That's what I would think. I think we'll end it here again. The Angels lose 9-8. They lose the series. They took one yesterday, but lost on Friday and today. It's unfortunate. It's your boy mentioning I'm going to the Rays game on the 19th next month, and I can't wait to see what the state of the team is at that time. It might look a little different with some of the veterans gone, injuries, among other things. And the Rays will come in with one of the best records in the AL. That's just the way it goes. Trevor says Tucker to the Angels so that we never have to play against them again. Dude, I would love him as an Angel. Him and Santander. Give both. Grillmaster saying you're drunk, Turco. MT saying, can we trade Ohtani to the Dodgers? And then the Angels can pick him up next year for free agency. Again, I think we talked about that in the pregame show. I think that happened with the Yankees, with Chapman. But we're talking about a different player. So Trevor says he was just joking to Matt, but I'll take him. I mean, the Angels did that with Josh Hamilton. You saw how that went, though. R. Martinez saying, for several years now, I've always said Kyle Tucker is better than Trout and underrated. People used to tell me, whom? I feel the same way, R. Martinez. He's on the field more. He's won a championship, a couple of championships, right? No, one championship. Some awards. He plays the outfield flawless, effortlessly in right field. His leaping catches with that short wall in Houston. You saw him make that catch late in the game today where he hurt his elbow, it looked like. He just makes those look seamless. It's amazing what Kyle Tucker can do. So the love fest for Kyle Tucker will go on for a while, definitely for me and R. Martinez. And just give the Astros credit as much as you don't want to. All right. Okay. Now we're going to end it here. Thank you for everybody who commented in, voted in. Again, 93% saying fire Nevin now, which would have been an hour and 10 ago. Or no, 3%, which was probably Roger Lodge and the LA Halo Hawks, but we don't count them, right? Stay tuned for more content on Halos in the Infield. Tomorrow, I'll have the pregame show, but not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, not Saturday, but next Sunday. So I'll be around, but definitely not on camera. I'll be working at appointments, whatever the case is. You also follow me at James Session 89 on Instagram as well, and the Chair with James Gonzalez on YouTube. MT saying we need a Mookie Betts type of player. I would love that. The hatred turns into admiration. That's for sure. Mr. Moves mentioned Mr. Moves X2 saying already said he won't let Shohei be traded. We're going to lose Shohei for nothing, and that pisses me off so much I'll throw my hat away. All right, everyone take care. Go Halos. We'll see how we do against the Yankees coming in for 3. Take care, folks, and have a good evening.